Well, today's Veterans Day, and it is an extraordinary time in our country where we honor those who have made tremendous sacrifices in defense of our freedom. And those who serve in the military serve to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And I think it's so important for you as young people to understand the foundation of this country, the foundation of liberty and freedom, which is our Constitution. I come from a Colorado military family. My father served in first the United States Navy, then the United States Army, so I grew up in a military family. My father, during World War II, lied about his age so he could serve in the military, and at age 15 he lied about his age and served in the United States Navy as a gunner on the back of a torpedo bomber in the Pacific. My late grandmother had second thoughts about her young son serving in the military in time of war and turned him in for being underage, and after a year they threw him out of the United States Navy and he came back home to Colorado. And shortly thereafter, at age 16, he lied about his age again and joined the United States Army, and I think she hadn't just let it go the second time around. And he served in the Army Infantry in Europe, in Germany, and fought in the Battle of the Bulge, and would later fight in the Korean War, where my father was wounded in combat, and finished the second half of his career in the Army Medical Corps. So I grew up in a military family in the shadow of my father, a career soldier, and so I always thought of military service as doing something really greater than yourself. And so when I became old enough at 17, I talked my parents into signing for me, and so I enlisted in the United States Army and served for 2 years in the 1st Armored Division in Europe. And then after that, came back home to Colorado and went to the University of Colorado under the GI Bill and continued serving my country in the Army Reserve. When I graduated from the University of Colorado, I transferred to the Marine Corps, where I became an infantry officer in the United States Marine Corps, serving on active duty for several years and then finishing my career in the reserves. Came out of the reserves voluntarily to serve in the first Gulf War and then later in the Iraq War. So I have a total of 21 years of combined military service and retired from the military. And so Veterans Day is very important to me. I reflect on those who I knew who served, and I also reflect on those who were lost. And so it's important to remember why we honor those who have served this country, because they serve it to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And so with that, it's a great honor to be with you today on Veterans Day, and I encourage you to study the Constitution, and I encourage you to consider serving this great nation in whatever capacity you can.